So I'm smoking something a little different this time. See, that's the thing about having more than a few pipes. You can smoke whatever you want, you know. A new pipe every time. It's great. So this is a Sayers pipe. Like that acrylic bit. Look how it kind of flares out at the end, but very short. Not a real big chamber, thick walls. Little rustication there. Right, let's see if we can get her to focus. Focus, baby, focus. Canon dual pixel. I use an old M100. With a 22mm f2. It does great. Small, simple, reliable. I like the Sigma, but it's just kind of a hassle. If it had a flippy screen, it'd be awesome. But it doesn't, so you need to set up a separate little screen with its own battery, which is often discharged. A Shinobi from Atomos. A separate mic, just for better sound. In my garden shed, smoking shed here, the sound is reasonable enough, you know, so I don't really need that. But if I'm outdoors, it's nice. It has a dead cat, you know, that hairy fuzzy thing on the mic. Anyway, it's when you're feeling like, yeah, I want to make this more of a production, I'll do the Sigma. And I really like the results. But this does fine. Only 1080, but you know, it's an old camera. So a Sayers pipe. Now he's from Galway in Ireland, and he's still got, I just looked him up on eBay. I mean on Google, and he's got an Etsy shop still. So I've had this pipe for 10, 15 years. A long time. I like it. Smoking a tin, I didn't bring it out with me from the house, but some McLelland, the Grand Orientals, the Algonya, which is really mild. And you know, it's getting to be almost 10 years old. But that McLelland smoothness, you know, I thought that was a great idea. Highlighting the different Oriental mixtures. What are usually condiment tobaccos, and then they're still a mixture, but it's kind of the majority of the smoke, so you get to really taste it. But it's honestly, it's so mild that to my taste buds there isn't a lot there, but then that's usually the case. I talked to a friend of mine, she's 88, last night, and she said, don't bring me any pie because I can't taste anything. My taste buds are gone at the moment. And I immediately thought of COVID, but I didn't want to say anything, and she didn't mention any other symptoms, so it's just some, who knows what. But I still remember very early, in fact, just before shutdown with COVID, I had ridden a motorcycle down to Corvallis for a little conference on rail photography. I was really looking forward to that. Found a little motel down there and got a little room. And, I was just all ready for it. And then they canceled it right at the last minute because of COVID. So, but when I got down there, I can remember I stopped at a Korean food truck, and it would just be so flavorful, and I couldn't taste anything, and I couldn't smell anything, and it was a real green, warm day, and it was like late winter, early spring, and I just couldn't smell a thing, and I couldn't taste anything, but I could feel the heat from the Korean food, but I couldn't taste anything. And then on the ride home is when I think things really, boom, shut down. So, yeah, we're still feeling effects from all that. And that's very politicized, so I'm not going to dive into that. You can have your own opinion about it, and that's fine with me. This McLelland stuff, the Algonya, it does make just a really nice smoke, and I kind of like having that volume of smoke. There's something kind of creamy, kind of like on a dark porter beer. It's the foam, kind of. It has that quality to it, if there's, a significant volume of it. So on Monday, Eric's service, it was like a who's who of the fire service locally. Great service. Gets me every time. His favorite song was My Way, sung by Elvis. And so they played that, and it was like, oh, tears flowed. We'll really miss that guy. He was so good at what he did, and affected so many people, and I mean, he was amazing. So, yeah, Eric's funeral was good. And My Way was the only song that was played. If they'd played more, we'd all be like just crying. And it's designed to do that, right? I mean, that's what a good memorial service does, is it kind of gets that emotion out. So, yeah, it's good. So I picked up some new game cams from Amazon. Cheapies, same model I had, and they were fine, they're sitting out in the weather all the time, and they're small enough. You only use 4 batteries. They get decent mileage out of the batteries. Quality is sufficient. I think you have to spend quite a bit more to. These were $20 a piece to get much better quality. So they're fine. And I don't need the thing where they're like on all the time and they'll alert you on your phone and all that stuff. And there's no power out there. And they're kind of under trees and stuff. I don't know even how does that work? The reception, does it have a SIM card in it? I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? It's not something I'm interested in. So while I was out there, I was thinking about Jim Foster and how crazy that is that, this psychotic person would come out and shoot you at short range multiple times with a .22, but and then bash your head in once you're on the ground. It's like, whoa, that is unfriendly and unneighborly. Jim, I'm sorry it happened to you. So it all feels pretty empty out there. And he was a metals dealer, a junker. So there's just so much crap out there. Greg's going to have a lot to deal with. Gosh. Anyway. But he needs to get somebody out there because it's just waiting to be squatted on or whatever. Yeah, so this makes some good smoke. Interesting. It's like a really light. Not a Virginia, has a different flavor than that. Not a burley. Although a good burley can be okay. I mean, it can be kind of nutty. A bad burley can just be like nicotine laden and no flavor to me. But like I say, my taste buds have never recovered from COVID. So thank you, Mr. Sayers, for carving a nice pipe. I mean, it's got that little flare. You know? Nice. Nice. Without being too fancy, you know? Too luxe. Just not my thing. I mean, if it's yours, great. Break a leg, but it's just not mine. Yeah. The start of summer. I hope everybody is making some summer plans and having a good time and living in the moment. Live while you're alive, I would say. It's hard to do, though. You know, you get wrapped up into all the social media noise and you know, just your everyday stuff. It's good. That's what summer, sometimes a trip is good for, is to like, poof, take a step back. Look at things. How are things going? Am I happy? Is it good? Is it where I want to be? How do I feel? Because we never, I think, really ask ourselves that in a meaningful way. And like Jim, boom, you're done, you know. Same with Eric, really. So, yeah, do things while you can. And I hope you can say that life is good.